Good evening. My name is Cameron Rice, and I'm a mass communications major with a minor in digital media arts at PVAMU. The case that I'll be talking about today is the United States versus Virginia case that made history in 1996. The case revolves around the VMI, which stood for the Virginia Military Institution. It was a prestigious all-male military academy in Virginia. They had a policy of excluding women from the academy. The United States government and the Department of Justice filed a lawsuit arguing that the institute was violating the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment, which was to prevent gender discrimination in state institutions. The institute argued that women would not be able to keep up with the regime or regiment that men had to go through at the academy. And so they tried to give an alternative course for women, which excluded them from the regular practices and other training regiments that they had for males, with the excuse that they wouldn't be able to keep up with the regiment that everybody else, the men, had to go through. The Supreme Court had a 7-1 decision that concluded that the institute's male-only admissions policy was unconstitutional, and that the institute could not provide an alternative program that offered equal opportunities and quality to the VMI's military academy for women. The outcome of the case was that the court ordered the institute to admit women and concluded that a separate but equal institution created as an alternative for women would not be enough, since it failed to give the same opportunities in education as the VMI does or did. It was seen as a major victory for gender equality in education and guaranteed that women could no longer be excluded from public institutions based on gender. Moral issues with the case was that women were excluded from military institutions, which violated the principles of equal treatment under law, specifically the 14th Amendment with Equal Protection Clause, and it was not seen as right to prevent women from seeking education in fields that were traditionally dominated by men. Ethically, it was questioned on how the institution should balance their traditions and educational models with how society is changing and progressing in the world. It is wondered on how or what will need to be done to get rid of these old and outdated traditions within the Institute to help adapt to modern social values and be more inclusive to everybody, no matter the age, race, gender, And the Supreme Court justice that I chose was Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And Ruth was a well-known feminist who helped other women in different cases with gender equality to gain them opportunities to do whatever they wanted. In her life, she also had a rough start, but she built herself up to somewhere higher and greater to help other women and inspire other women. In my opinion, I think that they should have tried to push for more and see what else they could have gotten, what other opportunities that they could have grabbed and opened up for other women in the future. But I think that it was a nice start. And I agree with how the outcome came out in the case, and hope that the Institute was able to adapt with how the world was changing. But I also think that, like I said, I think that they could have pushed for more. I know it would have took more time, but they could have gone for something bigger after that and tried to just get as much as they could out of that institute, and maybe even make the institute better while helping them adapt to how society is now. Thank you for watching.